In this week's episode of Road Trip, we travel to the village of Sharoi. It's 3 hours south of Grozny, so you know what that means? We better get on the road.
The Chechen have always regarded the road to be not just practical, and have put it in a noble category. Everything pertaining to travel was sacred since ancient times. There is a belief that one who builds a road or bridge deserves eternal bliss. The Sharoi district is located in the southeastern mountainous part of Chechnya. The distance to my destination from Grozny is 150 kilometers. The area of Sharoi is roughly 500 square kilometers and has a population of a little over 3,000 people. On this trip, my goal is to reach the ancient village of Sharoi and find petroglyphs existing on medieval stones. Petroglyphs are prehistoric rock carvings which are widespread throughout the Chechen mountains. They are dated from the 11th to 16th centuries. I've reached the halfway point in my journey and have just passed through the town of Sharoi. I've been told that it will take another 2.5 to 3 hours to reach Sharoi. This brings the one-way travel time to 5 hours instead of the 3 hours I originally thought it would take. This is a great place to stop and relax before getting back on the winding mountain road. In this area, there are many reserves of non-metallic and construction materials such as plaster, marble, quarry stone, and limestone. The district is also home to numerous rivers and streams. The longest river in the area is the Sharoi, which runs directly through the center of the district and divides it in two. With much navigation from my driver, we finally reached the Sharoi region. The Sharoi district is located in the southeastern mountainous part of Chechnya. This area of the Caucasus mountain range is covered with dense forests and alpine meadows. At this point, I'm 15 kilometers from my destination. The photo I have from the old village of Sharoi is from the 1800s. I'm sure a lot has changed since then, and I hope the old mosque and petroglyphs still exist. I reached the village of Sharoi after more than 5 hours on the road. This is what the village of Sharoi looks like today, in 2010.
Virtually all settlements in the Chechen mountains had no conventional housing. They mostly consisted of combat and dwelling towers.
The village of Sharoi is one of the oldest settlements in the Chechen Republic and the most inaccessible. There are bears and wolves in this area that live in the thick forests. The language dialect of the Sharoi region has been preserved to virtually only the Vainak language, with little borrowings from other tongues. This is explained by the fact that the Sharoi district is of the highest altitude of over 3,000 meters and the most remote region in Chechnya. The Sharoi language is distinct from the rest of the republic.
So finally, I found some petroglyphs. Here is a sword, and I spoke to a historian, and she actually told me that this is the original petroglyph. This was made at the time that this structure was made. There's something up here as well. I can't really make out what this is, but in the mosque area, there's a lot more petroglyphs. And so here are some really old petroglyphs written on the mosque. Actually, they're written in Arabic and translated. They say that this mosque was built in the 13th century.
This mosque was built by Chechens and written in the Chechen language using the Arabic alphabet. Mission accomplished. I reached the village of Sharoi and found some petroglyphs. The The Chechen government intends to revive the tourism infrastructure of this area and establish an organized tourist camping site in the village of Sharoi. An end to another great day on the road in Chechnya.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of Chechnya Through My Eyes. This was Chrystal Callahan for Grozny TV. See you next Sunday. Adiko.